Part 53, Dancing with Stars, a magical stargazing lesson at Stardust Academy. What if the stars above weren't just distant lights, but whispered secrets only you could hear? That evening, beneath a glass dome high atop a crystal tower, stargazing class began. Professor Aurelia stood tall, her hair flowing like a comet's trail. "The stars write truths no book can hold," she murmured. Students squinted through brass telescopes, but Pearl needed none. She felt the constellations, their warmth whispering secrets to her. Her hand rose instinctively, tracing lines between stars. Suddenly, a swan constellation blinked at her, glowing. Her scar shimmered faintly, catching the starlight. But when she blinked, the swan was gone. Confused, she scribbled notes as instructed, while her mind circled the vision again and again. Did Pearl truly see the swan constellation? Or was it a vision meant only for her eyes? Sometimes the farthest lights in the sky show us the truest path ahead. Join Pearl's journey through magic, mystery, and starlight. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next chapter of her enchanted tale. Part 54. The Trial of Transformation, Stardust Academy Magic Story. What if even the smallest pebble could reveal the magic hidden inside you? Thursday brought shifting and transmutation, where precision was law. Professor Eliza's eyes were sharper than crystal blades. "Mischief will earn no place here," she warned. She demonstrated by turning a brass lamp into a squirrel and back again with graceful flicks. Today, pebble to berry. Begin. Alex froze his pebble solid, frost creeping across the desk. Alice, of course, produced a pebble that popped like a spark into a fireball. Pearl whispered carefully. Her pebble glowed green, then sprouted leaves. A tiny plant, alive. Professor Eliza's brow lifted, intrigued. Unexpected, but promising. Homework piled like mountain stones, but Pearl left with her chest glowing brighter than her pebble's leaves. If you were in class, what would your pebble become? Always let your true colors shine bright, like a fairy's glow. Subscribe now to follow Pearl's magical journey through Stardust Academy. Part 55, A Pixie's Message Stardust Academy Magical Story. What if a single fluttering pixie carried a message that could change your day? Friday morning, as Pearl ate her spiced honey chilies, a glittering pixie fluttered down onto her plate. "Hi, bestie," it chirped, wings shimmering like crystal dust. A tiny scroll was tied to its leg. She unrolled it to find Astrid's flowing script. "Tea with me this evening? I'd love to hear about your week." The pixie, meanwhile, began nibbling right through her plate. Pearl's cheeks warmed. She scribbled yes with a shy smile and tied it back. It was her very first letter to someone.
The sky's yours.
The pixie zipped away like a pearl dropped into the
Safe
sky.
travels, little messenger.
Alice nudged her, smirking. "Wow!" Pearl only smiled faintly, though her heart pounded. If a pixie delivered a secret note to you, who would you hope it was from? Friendship grows brighter when we listen, share, and care for each other's hearts. Stay with Pearl on every magical step of her journey. Subscribe for more enchanting fairy tale adventures. Part 56, Shadows in the Dark, Alchemy Lesson Gone Wrong at Stardust Academy. What if one mistake in alchemy could scar you for life, or leave you with burns that never fade? Alchemy class that day felt colder than night itself. Professor Lily's black robes flowed like living shadow as she glided across the room, wand in hand. "Power is neither good nor evil," she whispered. "Only intent decides." But her eyes... Oh, her eyes never left Pearl. Each glance stung like frostbite. The room was silent, silent enough to hear a heart skip. With a flick of her wand, Lily scribed instructions upon a glowing board. The students had everything laid out on their tables. Rare petals, shimmering powders, crystal vials. One careful hour of measuring and stirring clockwise, then anti-clockwise. That was all it should have taken. But halfway through, boom! Jack's cauldron burst into flame. The boy clutched his hand, blistered with boils, tears falling fast. Lily's voice cut the air like ice. "Did you use marigold petals in place of sunflower petals, you idiot?" Her command was swift. "Alex, take him to Madame Rose in the medical wing." And while Jack stumbled out, Melissa only giggled. Proud and poised, she held high her potion, a shimmering green liquid that healed with a single sip. Lily's smile curved thinly. "You have a talent," she purred. But then her gaze snapped back to Pearl. Her words fell heavy. Fame isn't everything. In the end, one by one, the students failed. Lily's punishment was cruel. 10 pages on this draw, each of you, and 5 points lost from Emberlyn. Her wand tapped sharply, and 5 points gained for Noctivan. the air filled with the sting of failure. Even Alice's whisper of comfort could not lift Pearl's heart, for the weight of Lily's gaze followed her, like a curse. Will Pearl rise stronger after failure, or sink deeper into Lily's shadow? Remember, dear listener, first failure is never the end. It is only the doorway to your second chance. Subscribe now and join us for more magical chapters of The Star-Scarred Child. Part 57. Astrid's Enchanted Cottage, a fairy tale of secrets and shadows. Once upon a starlit evening, two young dreamers followed a lantern's glow into the forest, where fireflies danced and secrets waited beyond a moss-roofed cottage. That evening, cloaks wrapped tight, Perl and Alice followed a lantern-lit path into the forest. Fireflies flickered. The air smelled of wildflowers and distant rain. At last, a cottage glowed in the dusk, a fairy's home, roofed in moss, windows gleaming crystal, runes shimmering faintly on its door. Astrid welcomed them with a smile that felt like sunrise. Come in, little stars. Inside, the cottage glowed with warmth, tea steamed in crystal cups, cookies crisped on a silver tray. Pearl introduced Alice and Astrid. Soon, laughter filled the little home as they shared tales of their first week's adventures. Astrid, like so many others, believed Professor Lily to be a strict teacher, for she had often heard students' complaints. Alice smiled softly and spoke of her sister Bella, a healer in France. Astrid's eyes lit up. I would love to visit someday, she said dreamily. But as the warmth of friendship spread, Pearl's gaze fell upon a newspaper folded neatly on the table. Moon Vault robbed, Vault 613, emptied the same day. Her heart skipped. The same day we were there. Astrid quickly changed the subject, but questions swirled in Pearl's mind like restless shadows. Where was the box? What had Astrid hidden? And why did Professor Lily's name feel like a storm waiting to break? Pearl left the cottage that night, full of tea, cookies, and more questions than answers. But what treasure was Astrid truly hiding? And why did Professor Lily's name echo like thunder in Pearl's heart? Even the warmest light can hide shadows, and sometimes the gentlest smile guards the greatest secret. Subscribe now to follow Pearl's magical journey, where every cottage, shadow, and starlit path holds another secret waiting to be told. Part 58. A rainy weekend. Full of magic. Cozy adventures of Perl and Alice. When raindrops sing and portraits whisper, even an ordinary weekend at Stardust Castle turns into a tale of quiet magic. The weekend passed in a gentle hush of rain. Outside, silver droplets tapped against the castle's stained glass windows like tiny drums of the sky. Inside, warmth wrapped itself around the common room. Perl and Alice curled in cozy chairs by the fire, parchment and quills scattered as they worked through their homework. When quills were put away, they wandered through winding staircases, discovered portraits, whispered gossip, and even played a game of chess whose pieces argued over every move. What hidden stories do you think the rain was trying to tell within those enchanted castle walls? Live boldly, learn fiercely, shine brightly like a fairy. Stay enchanted. Subscribe now for more magical days. Part 60. Skyboard Chaos at Stardust Academy. Pearl's magical challenge begins. When lessons soar and tempers spark, even the calmest skies can turn into storms of magic. The days unfurled with deeper lessons. Pearl discovered she was not far behind at all. Many classmates, even Alice, struggled to keep pace. Alex shone brightest, every teacher's favorite, answering questions before they even finished asking them. Yet he and Alice clashed constantly, when they're snapping at each other like storm and flame. By Saturday morning, excitement swelled. Alex whispered as they hurried to class. They're holding Skyskiz selections today. Who will rise above the chaos and claim their place in the Skyboard selections? Pearl, Alex, or Alice? True strength isn't in flying faster. It's in learning to lift others when the winds turn wild. Subscribe to the Star-Scarred Child series for more magical twists, sky-high adventures, and heartwarming lessons from Stardust Academy. Part 61. Hidden Trials, the Skyboard Challenge at Stardust Academy, the Star-Scarred Child series. Who will rise above the chaos when the sky itself tests their courage? When the old brooms vanished, destiny took flight on boards that obeyed only the brave of heart. Skyskiz, the legendary flying game. But no first year had ever been chosen. When the students gathered, the old brooms were gone. In their place waited boards, sleek planks engraved with runes, glowing faintly like captured starlight. Madame Claire explained, A skyboard listens to your thoughts. It will follow where your heart commands. But control is not so simple. Indeed, it was chaos. Students stumbled, fell, or spun in dizzying circles. Only 3 found their balance: Alex, Alice, and Pearl. The boards carried them round in graceful arcs, while others tumbled in the grass. True control comes not from power, but from harmony between heart and mind. In a trial of balance and belief, Pearl, Alex, and Alice discover that sometimes the hardest magic to master is yourself. Subscribe to get magical days. Midnight Adventure Part 62, The Circle's Test of Destiny. The Circle's Test of Destiny, Pearl's Awakening at Stardust Academy. When courage meets the magic of truth, destiny itself begins to glow. Enough, said Madame Claire. She led the 3 into a hidden chamber. The air shimmered with power, thick as honey. At its center, a great circle glowed upon the stone floor, etched in purple fire. This, she said, is the circle of the sky. To enter it is to test the truth of your flight. Stand at the center, close your eyes, and imagine yourself soaring. Alex stepped forward first. He stood tall, eyes closed. The circle flared and then dimmed. The room grew cold, heavy, and nothing more. He stepped back, frowning. Alice tried next. She breathed deeply, hope in her face. The circle blazed hot. The air shimmered like a summer noon, but again, nothing happened. Then it was Pearl's turn. She hesitated, her scar glowing faintly beneath her hair. The room seemed to hush, every candle flame holding its breath. She stepped into the circle, her hands trembling, and closed her eyes. She pictured the sky, the endless blue, the sun, the wind, the stars. She pictured freedom. She pictured herself not just flying, but belonging there. The circle began to hum. The purple fire blazed brighter, brighter, until the whole chamber was wrapped in starlight, waiting to reveal what Pearl alone could summon. What secret power will the circle reveal when Pearl steps into its starlit flames? True strength isn't about power. It's about believing you were meant to shine. In a world of rainbows, be a fairy. If you believe every heart hides its own magic, subscribe for the next enchanted chapter of The Star-Scarred Child. Part 63, Pearl's Rainbow Wings. Wings of Destiny, the youngest Skyskiz player in 500 years. The Star-Scarred Child series. When midnight whispered her name, Destiny answered with wings of rainbow light. Midnight wrapped the castle in silver hush, and in the circle of the sky, Pearl's destiny shimmered awake. As the last purple flames faded, Pearl opened her eyes, and before her, in the mirror, she saw wings. Not ordinary wings, but butterfly wings. Vast and gleaming, woven with rainbow hues and the jeweled designs of a peacock's feathers. She was beautiful beyond words. Alice gasped, hands pressed to her mouth. Madame Claire whispered only one word: incredible. But then the door creaked. Professor Eliza swept into the chamber, her robes trailing shadows and starlight. She studied Pearl, her eyes sharp, her voice steady. Perfect. She's got the grace of a swan and the spirit of a fairy. Our house has long been short of one player. And remember, these wings are not truly yours. They listen to your emotions, your courage. Your aura feeds them. Every great power, she said, comes with great responsibility. Eliza's gaze gleamed. Show me if you can truly fly. Pearl's heart thundered. She stood tall, wings unfurled, every ounce of courage burning within her chest. Slowly, she rose, higher, higher still. The chamber filled with light as she soared, wings glittering like living rainbows. She leaned forward, weight shifting, and felt it. The wings becoming lighter, faster, carrying her in a graceful dive. 50 feet she plummeted, then curved upward, and landed before Eliza with elegance, her star scar glowing faintly. Her eyes were sharp, her spirit brighter than ever. Professor Eliza exhaled, awed. In all my years, I've never seen one like you. You will be the youngest Skyskiz player in 500 years. But then her tone turned serious. Your wings will appear only when you summon them. Train hard. Keep this secret. For 5 years, I could not meet Professor Lily's eyes, watching Noctavon win the House Cup again and again. But this year, her lips curved in a rare smile. I want the cup in my office. The school will know only when you take the field for your first match. Until then, silence. Madame Claire will soon introduce you to your team leader. Pearl's cheeks flushed pink. Alice's eyes sparkled with joy. Both girls trembled with excitement, knowing the midnight had given them more than a secret. It had given them a dream. And so, the wings of destiny unfolded. Will Pearl's heart be strong enough to guide the wings that listen to her soul? True power shines only when courage and kindness take flight together. Let your spirit be as wild and free as a fairy. Subscribe for more magical tales from the star-scarred child, where dreams take wing under starlit skies.